Welcome, everyone! Around the world, architects and engineers are preparing for a future where entire cities may float on the ocean. With rising coastal populations and limited land space, the idea of building permanent settlements on water is no longer science fiction. These floating cities could offer new ways to live, work, and grow while adapting to a changing global landscape. From modular platforms to energy self-sufficiency, the next generation of urban design may be anchored offshore. Floating cities begin with a foundation that stays afloat permanently. These foundations are often constructed from large concrete pontoons filled with air chambers or foam. The buoyancy is carefully calculated so that the weight of the structure above can be evenly supported. Some designs use interlocking platforms that can be expanded or rearranged like building blocks. These platforms are moored to the seafloor using flexible anchors or tension cables, which allows for gentle movement without the risk of drifting away. To supply fresh water, floating cities actually use multiple systems that work together. The most common method is reverse osmosis desalination, where seawater gets pushed through a really fine membrane to remove salt and impurities. Solar-powered pumps or wave-powered systems provide the energy needed to drive the water through filters. Some designs even capture rainwater on rooftops and direct it into storage tanks. All of the water is filtered and tested before it ever enters residential or agricultural use zones. Electricity generation is decentralized and built into the city structure. Solar panels are placed on rooftops and walkways to harvest sunlight throughout the day. Some platforms include wind turbines that work well with changing wind directions at sea. In areas with strong tides, underwater turbines can produce consistent electricity. Energy is stored in lithium-ion or saltwater batteries located in shielded compartments below the living decks. Food production is managed through a combination of vertical farming and aquaculture. Tall greenhouse towers can grow vegetables and herbs in nutrient-rich water without soil. These systems recycle water and use artificial lighting or mirrored sunlight tunnels to support photosynthesis. Fish are raised in submerged pens beneath the platform, providing protein while also helping to cycle nutrients back into the water system. Waste from the fish is used to fertilize the plant crops. Waste management here relies on advanced recycling and compact treatment systems. Organic waste is separated and sent into biodigesters that convert it into methane gas and fertilizer. Solid waste is compressed and stored until retrieval by transport vessels. Water from toilets and sinks goes through biological treatment that includes filtration, microbial processing, and ultraviolet purification. Clean water is then reused for irrigation or sanitation, which helps reduce overall consumption. Transportation within and between the floating platforms relies on electric vehicles and automated water taxis. The roads are quite narrow and limited to these shared autonomous carts, while boats connect the residential zones to the public areas. Each platform has docks built right in, allowing small delivery vessels and personal boats to tie up easily. For larger journeys, sea shuttles or electric ferries can travel between the floating cities and the mainland ports, making trade and supply runs pretty straightforward. Building a floating city is modular and follows a precise sequence. First, the core platforms are constructed in dry docks or shipyards. Then they're towed to the site and anchored in place. Utility connections like power lines, data cables, and water pipes are all laid beneath the city using submersible robots, making the whole process quite efficient. Buildings are assembled in sections, and then they're lifted onto the platforms using cranes. Every single structure is thoroughly tested for balance and stability before anyone's allowed to move in. Communication systems here rely on both satellite and ocean-based relay towers. Each platform is equipped with high-speed satellite terminals that provide internet and voice services. In larger cities, mesh networks connect homes and offices to a central control system. This system keeps an eye on energy use, water quality, structural health, and weather data. It can even direct autonomous drones for deliveries and maintenance tasks. Safety measures can include storm defense and emergency evacuation protocols. The outer edges of the city use adjustable wave barriers that absorb and redirect wave energy. And when the seas get rough, buildings are sealed and all equipment is secured automatically. Emergency rafts and aircraft platforms are located throughout the city in case of evacuation. All residents are trained through periodic drills to respond to different scenarios, including medical emergencies or fire outbreaks. Floating cities also feature smart zoning and adaptive use areas. Residential blocks are separated from commercial and industrial units to reduce noise and traffic. Schools, parks, and hospitals are placed at the center of each community module. As the population grows, new platforms can be attached using standard connectors. This allows the city to expand in a controlled and balanced way without overloading its core systems. Floating cities offer a new approach to disaster resilience. Traditional coastal cities are vulnerable to floods and storm surges. Floating structures can rise and fall with the water, reducing the risk of catastrophic damage. In future developments, entire communities may be designed to detach and relocate during major weather events, giving residents more control over their safety. Economic systems within floating cities could become self-contained. With three-dimensional printing, on-site food production, and renewable energy, these cities may reduce reliance on traditional supply chains. Some proposals envision floating free zones for innovation, where local governments offer experimental laws, digital governance, and new economic models that attract entrepreneurs and tech companies from around the world. Cultural life aboard floating cities may evolve in new ways. Isolation from land-based traditions could inspire distinct forms of music, architecture, and social organization. Public spaces such as amphitheaters, floating museums, and water gardens could reflect both global and localized aesthetics. Residents might live in closer proximity to nature and the sea, influencing their relationship with the environment. Education in floating cities may be integrated with digital learning and hands-on experience. Children and adults could study marine biology, robotics, navigation, and infrastructure maintenance directly within their communities. Schools may also serve as civic centers and emergency hubs. As technologies improve, education platforms might use immersive tools like augmented overlays to teach complex systems interactively. Security and governance will require careful planning. Surveillance drones, AI traffic monitors, and automated alert systems can help maintain safety without relying on a large human police presence. Governance could be managed through decentralized voting systems or AI-assisted councils that analyze resource needs and population feedback. Each platform may function as a semi-autonomous unit within a larger federation. Future floating cities may not be limited to Earth. The same principles used for modular buoyant platforms can apply to low-gravity environments like the surface of Titan or Europa, where subsurface oceans exist. Technologies tested in ocean cities on Earth may form the basis for extraterrestrial colonization. In that sense, floating cities represent not only a civil engineering breakthrough, but also a step toward planetary expansion. Floating cities may soon become a real option for expanding population centers and creating more resilient urban systems. As materials improve and construction costs drop, we may witness a shift from coastal development to ocean settlement. The rise of ocean-based megacities could mark a turning point in human civilization. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe.